Joining me now, four of the country's top radio show hosts. So here in New York, we have Steve Malzberg of WOR in New York, Roland Martin of WVON in Chicago, and Roland is also a CNN contributor. And from Raleigh, North Carolina, we have Warren Ballantyne of Syndication One, and from Phoenix, Charles Goyette of KFNX. And welcome to you all.
Thank you, Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Hello. We have to start with the Scooter Libby news, which was a very big jolt this week. Let's start with Steve. President Bush today saying he wouldn't even rule out a full pardon.
Right.
This is like this rolling, decision.
Right.
What do you think about the way it's been rolled out?
Well, I think he did the right thing. I think he absolutely did the right thing. I think there's no call for jail time for what Scooter Libby did. Basically, his conviction was based on a difference in a story between Tim Russert and himself. The news media is portraying it as he helped leak the name of a CIA agent. He had nothing to do with that. He was never accused of that. Nobody was prosecuted for that. No one was found guilty of that. It was just he said, she said. They convicted him of lying, and I think the president did the absolute right thing.
Okay. Law and order, Steve?
That's right.
He's not believing that? No, he said it was just really no big deal. Let's see. Attorney General Mitchell, obstruction of justice, went to jail. Martha Stewart, obstruction of justice, went to jail. Rapper Lil Kim lied to a grand jury, went to jail. So all these other people can lie to...
Henry Cisneros pardoned by Clinton. 18 counts he was indicted on. He pled guilty to lying to the FBI, pardoned by Clinton. What's the difference?
Let's get
Are you kidding me here? I agree with Roland Martin here when he's talking about Martha Stewart and others, but basically this is Tony Soprano taking care of his own. President Bush is basically doing this. He's doing this for a reason. The reason is this. If Scooter Libby goes to jail, he's gonna tell the true story. He's going to tell what's really going on in this administration. And look, let me tell you something. This administration is faulty, but also this Congress. It's not just the Republicans, it's the Democrats. All of them are dropping the ball here. Nancy Pelosi, she's a joke. She takes off the table impeachment of this president. He's Tony Soprano now. He's
radical left dreaming.
Let's talk about the American public. Hang on one second. Let me talk about the American public. Now, 72% say that President Bush should not pardon Scooter Libby. What do you think of that, Charles?
Well, I don't think the American public have really roused from their slumber. Look, you have got a renegade administration here. You have the new fourth branch of government, the bunker Cheney branch of government. You've got 5 million White House emails that suddenly disappeared. You've got apparently two standards of justice. The danger to America, though, is that with Scooter Libby on the loose, some defense contractor that has profiteered on this war will endow a chair at the American Enterprise Institute, and he'll go
the ranting and raving,
another couple
the
of
ranting and raving of the radical left, and the reason the polls show that is because this whole case has been misrepresented. They think Scooter Libby leaked the name of a covert CIA agent, which wasn't even leaked.
So you're suggesting, Steve, that the American public doesn't understand the details.
Because it's not presented in a fair manner by the mainstream media.
Hang on, we're letting Roland get out on this.
Kitty, I want to read this. It says, my responsibility is to ensure our laws are enforced fairly and evenly without preference or special treatment. That's what Governor George W. Bush said when he would not commute the sentence of Carla Faye Tucker when he was governor of Texas. Now, it's interesting that he would sit here and say, a fair treatment. Okay, you explain to me somebody who's not a chief of staff of the VP who would do this kind of
FALN terrorist got it for Bill Clinton. The FALN terrorist got it for Bill Clinton. How's that?
Mr. Law and Order.
How's that? Let's get Charles in on this. Charles, go ahead.
Charles. Kitty, I really remember, because I was in talk radio at the time. I remember all the conservative talk show hosts and the Kool-Aid drinkers and the Stepford talk show hosts talking about the rule of law and, well, it's too damn bad Bill Clinton lied, and if you lie, you go to jail and get perjury, obstruction of justice. Let me tell you something. The same talk show host, the same Stepford talk show host, now all of a sudden aren't so interested in the rule of law, are they?
Warren, get in here on this.
This is the partisanship that Lou talks about on this show.
Kitty, this is the one thing that we're missing here. Again, I'm not just a talk show host, I'm a lawyer. The reason this happened the way it happened today was because Scooter Libby lost his appeal in the district courts. Now, it's not unusual what President Bush did. In fact, A lot of presidents. President Reagan gave 392 pardons, I believe. It's not unusual, and him commuting somebody is not unusual. He did it to 3 other people. What's unusual is that Scooter Libby never spent 1 day in jail.
Not one.
That's what's making it hard for the American public to accept. That's the problem here. And when you got somebody like Gennaro Wilson sitting in jail for 10 years, and this president, this governor, nobody in Georgia wants to step up to the plate, yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow.
You know, one thing that this show is asking is why the Border Patrol agents, Ramos and Campion, are not being afforded this similar leniency. Any thoughts on that?
Because Dick Cheney is not their boss. That's why. I mean, the bottom line is the president simply wants to protect his own. That's what this boils down to. And it's laughable to say, for Tony Snow to stand there and say, well, you know, it's so difficult. I mean, he has a wife and kids, and he's lost his job. Remember Webb Hubbell? He went to jail for taking 390 grand.
Webb Hubbell said he rolled over for Hillary Clinton, if you recall. That's what he said.
And he walked out with $500,000 in consulting fees. So trust me, I think Scooter will have a problem paying the $250,000.
Webb Hubbell rolled over for Hillary Clinton. I think the president will eventually
but at least he went to jail.
Once the case sorts itself out a little more.
I'm going to tell you, Kitty, my listeners right now, my listeners are interested to see if this president is going to take the next step and pardon him. I'm predicting here, like I did on my show, that he's going to pardon this man. And furthermore, what I'm also predicting is this is all happening for a reason. This is not by chance. Don't be fooled and think that this is by chance. When you think about this administration and everything that's going on, if you connect the dots and you look at what's going on, Scooter Libby was nothing more than a fall guy here. And the American people deserve the truth. They deserve the truth. The problem with the politics today is not authentic anymore.
Go ahead, Charles.
Kitty, I had Ambassador Joseph Wilson on the show today who reminded us that the special prosecutor, Patrick Fitzgerald, pointed out there remains a cloud over the office of the vice president. We apparently aren't going to get Scooter Libby's testimony to clear up that cloud, so it's going to fall into the laps of Congress now, and Americans, just as they turn to their congresspersons on the immigration bill,
nobody was charged with leaking a CIA agent's name because it wasn't leaked.
To demand that the cloud be investigated that hangs over the head of Dick, fourth branch of government.
Darth Vader.
Where is Mr. Law and Order? I'm missing him.
Let's move on to another topic, and that's Senator John McCain. Very timely.
He needs to be pardoned.
All right. What do you think about his dwindling resources? Your predictions?
No surprise. With him taking the fore on immigration, which was not what the Republican base wanted to see. With him coming out against torturing, quote unquote, or be using harsh treatment for prisoners if they knew that there was a bomb going to go off. He said, oh, no, the lives we save isn't worth what the world will think. He's dead in the water as far as the presidential candidate.
Senator John McCain made the biggest critical mistake, and that is he attached himself to the hip of George W. Bush. Not only on immigration, but also on the Iraq War. The two biggest issues going on in America. That's why he's failing.
Okay, let's go to Charles.
The American people got a real close look at the Straight Talk Express on CNN when Senator McCain talked about the joys of having a double latte in the streets of Baghdad. And then when the camera pulled back, we see what Straight Talk is made of in the McCain campaign. We had a wake for him a week ago. His campaign is over.
Kitty,
go ahead, Warren.
Don't be surprised if you see a lot of people falling by the wayside in the next 4 weeks here, because the American people are tired of it. We want straight talk. We want straight answers. We want somebody who's authentic. That's the key to winning this political race, in my opinion.
Gentlemen, I think you all qualify on that score, so thank you very much.
I can't run, though.
You can't run, though. We do appreciate your participation tonight. Warren Ballantyne, Steve Malzberg, Roland Martin, and Charles Goya. Thank you. Still ahead, the results of tonight's poll. More of your thoughts. Stay with us.